Well, thank you for that wonderful welcome, Jan. It's so incredible to be here, and I feel a little lonely because normally I have my daughter with me, and my daughter is the inspiration for all of this work. She was born in Ethiopia. She joined our family and her two big brothers, who she's still trying to figure out how she can get on, top of even being the little baby sister at 16 now. And when she was about 2 years old, she learned some things about her birth country. Very curious child. She learned that lots of kids don't get the chance to learn to read. I'm going to ask, because my parents are teachers, so I think audiences should have to participate. You can groan and moan all you want. Anybody want to guess how many people live in Ethiopia? And nobody in the front can guess over here. No cheating. Just yell out a number.
9 million.
7 million. 3 million.
120 million.
Wow.
And by 2 months from now, it might be 120 million plus a few. And about half of the population doesn't get the opportunity to learn to read. So millions of individuals don't get that opportunity. And as with most challenges anywhere in the world, it's worse for women and girls. So my little girl, she was 2 or 3 at the time, because life is simpler when you're little, right? Much simpler. She said, "Mama, that's not fair." True. Thank you. And Mama, you need to fix it. So isn't Mom supposed to fix everything? So that started us on a journey. And I met Jane Kurtz, the well-known children's book author, because we were trying to figure out what to do in Ethiopia and how I was going to take this mission I'd just been given by my daughter, because how do you say no to that, and make it into something. So we started a library in her birth town with Jane. We're working with an organization that Jane had founded, and we did lots of really good things, including fundraising, which I can tell you, nobody, even if that's their job, likes asking people for money. So if you're going to give, just make it super easy for whoever. Don't make them beg. Just do it. I can tell you, fundraising really hard. But what I learned 5 years in is that the challenge, the literacy rate, had stayed stubbornly low. And Jane and I started talking, and she had this new project. This project about early reader books. And I had decided I was going to start my own not-for-profit because I wanted to make progress. And I'm an ex-Amazon executive, and they sort of convince you after working really hard for 13 years that the impossible is possible if you're willing to work hard and you're willing to try new things. So I thought, well, why couldn't I take what I've learned at Amazon and what I've done in these other things, I'm a lawyer by training, and partner with Jane and her sister Caroline, and why can't we make this crazy thing happen? And then Lee joined the circus later, where we basically said, let's solve this problem of the missing books. But it's never easy, right? Like, you start and it's more challenging. I'm going to give you another guess a number. How many languages do you think are spoken in Ethiopia?
40, 30,
100.
70 to 90.
Wow.
And literacy, you need to have first language, and you need culturally appropriate. So the challenge was, how do we get culturally appropriate first language books? And our goal was 200 books in the top 3 languages, doing the 80-20 rule. We are now at 160 books, so we're going to hit 200. We're in 22 languages, because, oh, by the way, the rest of the world loves Lee and Jane and Tekla Miriam's books too. So they're in 12 Ethiopian languages. We have a few to go. But many other languages, including Greek and Spanish and German and Arabic and French and Portuguese. So this crazy thing kept growing. But at the heart of all of this work is people. And it's people who believe that the world should be fair. And it's called Open Hearts, Big Dreams for a reason. Very aspirational, as one of my friends said. Because if you open your heart, and it's the giver and the receiver, and you have big dreams, you say, like, we're not going to say what's possible. We're going to say what's right. You can do amazing things. We're a people-to-people organization. You artists here are my heroes. Because when I was fundraising, the artists were the most generous in my community, but I didn't have a way for them to give what they did. And money is important, but art and all the books that I've created with Lee students and Lee and Teklemariam and the artists in Ethiopia and all of you sitting here allow kids to experience art every day as they're learning to read, and makes art approachable to the world, and gives artists their art a different purpose, right? There's lots of purposes to art. So it's an amazing project. So when Lee came and talked to us, and Jan and Natalie and Jane, we really had no idea how this was gonna work. This was a project we've never done before. We're very small and we're kind of a figure it out as you go kind of organization. It looks all buttoned up, but we're like the duck. You know, underneath there's a lot of crazy paddling. So getting here today, getting to meet all of you, getting to see the book, see it actually happen, because we kept saying, oh yes, we can do this, oh yes, we can do this. It's just amazing. And then to me, to have Teklemariam here representing 4 Ethiopian artists who also gave their art. They love the project, they wanted to be a part of it, and it'll come full circle. We'll translate it into multiple languages, it'll get printed in Ethiopia, and once we have the pictures, we're sending them back to you and you can see your art being enjoyed by children in Ethiopia. And what I want to leave you with is, there's a Mandela quote that says, it's always impossible until it's done. So think about the things in your community that you want to make better that seem really too hard. There's really only 2 keys to making it better: to start and to believe. So you guys started, you guys believed, and I'm so grateful. And my daughter will be here at the festival. Look for that glorious mane, because she normally enters a room and in a way that you notice her, and she doesn't want to be noticed, which is like actually the ironic part. She also co-authored some books with us, and for her, the most fun of this project is when we go back to Ethiopia and she gets to share the books that many of you have helped us create with kids in her birth country, and feel like now she has that connection back and she's contributed. So this little girl who said, "Mama, fix it," now feels like things are starting to get fixed. So thank you for making that possible. And I hope to see all of you at the festival, and we can enjoy a conversation or some art or both.